everyone. Today we have a very special guest who is a visionary, is a businessman, entrepreneur, social worker, and a philanthropist. He is president and CEO of Param Group, Mr. Vipul Amin.
Hello.
Hello, Vipul.
Good.
How are you doing today?
Very good, Himaji.
Nice to know.
Yeah.
To start with, Vipul, how was the journey? How was your journey from technology to being an entrepreneur and getting into the business or starting with Param Group?
I think a very good question, Himaji. I believe, everything is in destiny. When I started, I was regular engineer. I used to work in the IT industry in 90s actually.
Mm-hmm.
But the day came when, I went to see my Guruji in India. And one day I was just sitting with him and, suddenly he asked me that, Vipul, how is going everything? I say, Guruji, everything is as your blessing and, God is taking care. And my job is doing fantastic that time. But then he said that we should think about greater family rather than thinking about ourselves. So technically, we belongs to the, heritage and the culture where Matru Deva Bhava, Pitru Deva Bhava, Guru Deva Bhava. And my, great Guru give me one more, things to keep in my mind. Vasudevam Kutumbam. So from that point onwards, I started thinking that when I am working, I am just supporting my family actually. But how can I do something which can support many families? And it so happened that my journey started from India to United States, and symbolically the country of opportunity, which is in United States. I saw a lot of people in need of lot of things actually. First of all, I am a technology field person. So what I realized that anything which we want to change the human life, we have to adopt the right technology. And that's where the beginning started. But then how do we influence the human life through our technology intervention? So we started something in a, very important area of the mankind, and which is a health area. So then, the technology which we started to develop in the health, and it so happened change was imminent in the health area. So things were moving good in the beginning. We developed great systems which is very useful to many of the medical and health practices. But while interacting with a lot of healthcare related industry, we realize, actually speaking, beyond technology, there are great need of supporting people with the right kind of services. When you want to touch the human, we have to think about the entire spectrum of the humanity. So you see that country like United States is because of whatever the reason, baby boomer people talk about, is so many seniors in surrounding. And I realize actually that, they are lonely, first of all. There are lot of support they need at home. And on top of that, there are a lot of expense to the government for the medical care. So then, we thought of that, how do we come up with the plans where we can go back to their homes. We provide them that nurturing, their caring, with the love and affections.
That's nice. Nice.
so that their loneliness can be taken out, first of all. On top of that, we can make their life much better. We studied that there are beyond the physical life, there are social life, then there are emotional life, then there is a something called medical life, something called educational life. Everyone has to pass through, and every life has the health aspect is connected. So person may be looking physically fit, but mentally or emotionally he is not fit. And that time, I think we have been coming across so many seniors who are unfortunately lonely, and we need to boost up their mental level, their emotional level by means of lot of home support. And that is where we venture into another services from Param, which is a healthcare services. So it so happened that from technology to the healthcare, we little bit diversified. So from the technology point of view, we can support many aspiring youngsters, and those life can be supported. And on top of that, now we went into health area, where the services was one of the key aspects, where we started providing services to a lot of seniors. So this is just the journey, and we felt it is something very interesting. Like in my job, I used to work for myself and for my family. I was a great programmer. I'm a IIT Bombay graduate actually, and I was actually learned, and I told myself that I want to do something great for me, my family, because I studied good. But then I realized that whatever comes to you, it's just because God wants you to share with everybody. Whether it is your educational wealth, whether it is, power, position, or whether it is your wealth even.
Right.
So that is where the journey begins. And I'm so thankful to my Guru that he gave me the divine name to start with. So Param itself is meaning of the journey towards the greatness.
Wow, that's
and
nice.
That is where Param begins.
Okay, good. That's amazing. So since while you were describing, you are really taking care of a whole empire, may it be IT consulting, may it be healthcare, wellness, education, and daycare as well, adult daycare as well. So what was your first venture, and what were the challenges that you faced all throughout this journey and this process?
Absolutely right. Very good question. We belongs to the background where education is persist, and education is supposed to be the part of everyone's life. Entrepreneuring is a different kind of experience. I'll say that when you do some entrepreneuring, you have to think about, your goal is great and you want to reach there. But I think the right kind of entrepreneuring, and you can be very much successful in the entrepreneuring when your every corner of the entrepreneuring works hand to hand. So it's not the one person's job there. It's a team, and team of likely minded people. Team of people who wants to devote their time, energy, and their goal and their focus is also aligned. Modern management techniques talk about so much on the teamwork. But I tell you one thing, if the goal is simple, goal is noble, and if you are really thinking from your heart, I think God helps. And it's so fortunate that when we began in 2001, from the day of inception, when today Param grown up so much, and while so many people are working at this level, I still feel that everyone coming and everyone working and everyone participating in the mission Param is the mission is godly mission. Since our goal is so much different, and God is helping. And I see every person walking in Param is also sent by the God. So, I mean, I'm fortunate. Uh, I strongly believe whatever the ideas that you have, whatever the knowledge you have, and whatever the creation you do, it's definitely your hard work. But I think beyond the hard work, there is a, realizes one should realize actually that, you have to have the blessing also. And we believe in positivity. So while many entrepreneur fails because of the different reason, and one of the reason is they don't focus too much on the upliftment of everybody. When we talk about the serving towards the humanity, serving towards the mankind, we should not forget that first responsibility of taking care is our own family, which is our all people, all employees. And that's where Param makes a lot of difference. Every employee makes that this is their family. Every employee knows what is their goal and what they want to achieve, and why Param exists and Param persists. So journey is so automatic actually. I'll tell you that when we start the IT consulting and technological firms in 2001, from day one, the people who work for Param, there are many people still with Param. With the simple reason, because they want to participate in the noble cause. Everybody works, everybody do their employment, but this is a journey which is not only for their own work, but this is also for the humanity. And that is why,
They
I
think
feel
they are
so blessed.
contributing to the
Right.
noble cause that you have set.
Right. So then, it so happened that in 2001, we incepted Param IT technology company, Param Consulting. Then as we described before, we learned that there are a lot of need in the servicing. So Param Healthcare, incepted in 2007 with the mission to more do serving in health sector. But then it's like so automatic. I tell you one thing, because while you do the servicing, you need the skilled people. You have to have people who knows the job actually, and then you have to develop that workforce. So then how do you create that workforce, especially in the local market?
Right.
So there, we thought of that. I mean, we started hiring good people, but at the same time, empowerment also began from the same family. So we started empowering our own people. Gradually, we started empowering our surrounding. And today, I would say that there are so many people got empowered by means of having our Param Institute of Education, which we incepted very, thoroughly, very, rightfully for doing the empowerment in various area of health and wellness, and also technology. So this 2009, we did that Param Institute, and that's where journey all going on. Today, I'll say that thereafter, a lot of other things also added in the similar line, but it's all connected to each other.
You could overcome the challenges that you had to, that you were facing in walking towards the goal that you were trying to achieve. That's
and
good.
one thing one should not forget, that there is always a give back. While you are whatever you're doing, keep one mind kind of non-profit and philanthropy. In reality, this is not one man job. I'll say that it is the community who supported us, who trusted us, and who loved so much, and that is why we persist. We should be thankful to government of United States And we should be thankful to local government also here, state of New Jersey. Their grace and their support always helped us a lot. There are a lot of, then we thought of on that direction, and we thought that let's do something for the community also. So in 2011, it so happened that we got an opportunity to work with the Department of Health, and then we also talk about working with other hospitals like big hospitals like Robert Wood Johnson hospitals and St. Peter, and then Jewish Renaissance. There are a lot of non-profit entities we wanted to work with. So we thought of that, why not we have our own non-profit entity so that we can support many people in our community and surrounding. So in 2011, we incepted Param Care Foundation, which is a 501c3. And today we can proudly say that after 11 years of our journey with the foundation, many people were uninsured, many people who are displaced, many people who are disoriented, or even sometimes unemployed, and especially many women actually. So much support has been generated, so many screening done. We forged the partnership with, for the collaborating efforts with various institutions. We are on the board with Robert Wood Johnson Hospital for their community care. And on top of that, we are also partner for various programs with the Department of Health and other entities like Stanford Universities in past, so like fall prevention, chronic disease self-management programs, and then holistic way of supporting the yoga related and nutrition related diabetes programs. And then a lot of screening also happen, cancer screenings and all those things.
Way to go. That's
so
nice.
That's where we feel we are so blessed that we could connect with the best entities in this area, and that is where we feel so proud. And Param, as that's one side of the philanthropy.
That's nice. You're trying to outreach the philosophy that you have accepted, and then going ahead with those thoughts and ideas. That's amazing. So, as you rightly mentioned, there are so many people that you're working with, because this is not one person's job. It's a team effort, that everybody has the same mission, vision, aligned with your mission, vision. So when a person walks in through this door, what are the qualities that you see who can be a right fit to be in Param Group?
What a great question. See, what I feel, Nimaji, that when you take the mission of serving and charity, one thing one should not forget, that there are plenty of people who need little helping hand. I'll say that, for example, the students who completed the master degree and looking for the job. There is a situation where job demands the experience, and students, does not have that experience. Now, how do you fill that gap, the bridge that between the student's life and between the employment beginning? Now, we have to think about that gap, because while they are students, they are protected.
Right.
While they are employing with the employer, they are protected. But between this time, like, there is a very uncertainty of the life. Similarly, like somebody is migrating and they are not settled, then that's a situation where people don't have that much certainty, even though their knowledge, their background might be good. So what we see, like anybody is coming here, I mean, we definitely need the skill.
Right.
Skill is one of the things which you have to execute the good service. But one should not forget that when we born, we were not a cyclist, but we still know how to cycle, right? And I was not a born engineer. I studied and then I became an engineer. Right. So if the right environment is provided with the right kind of framework, and right kind of logistic support, then things will change for everybody. And that is what I feel. It's a kind of, I don't feel that this is a, institutions like, where, everybody comes with the skill. But some of the skills they, develop during the journey, it's a kind of rehab center. And gradually it becomes so good that people are started walking and then they started, running, and some of them started flying even. So we feel proud about that the journey from, from the just kid to
Taking
become
baby
a
steps. Yeah.
superstar,
Mhm.
that is where Param makes a difference.
That's really wonderful. That's really nice to know. So, Vipul, if you have to change one thing for this journey that you have walked through, what do you think you could have done differently that would make a different ball game altogether for
See,
your mission and vision?
I think, Nimaji, what I feel is, the charity is not a one person or one team's job. We should unite actually. United we stand.
Mhm.
This is our motto. And we believe in God actually. US government motto itself is saying it's a nation where everybody is united. It's a, conglomeration of 50 states. So United States of America, I mean, I feel so differently and I'm so proud of, being an American citizen here. Because it gives the nation has a lot of values, lot of
Absolutely.
resources actually.
Right.
And they've been doing so much great to the world actually. I'll say that, this country has supported millions and millions people in surrounding, not only here in the third world countries, even poor countries also they have supported. So my point is, like when you take this mission, it's like, our lifetime is a limited time. You see that how many years of the time everybody can work, first of all. Situations like this corona pandemic, and now we see war and all other uncertainty. I think we should rethink about the existence of the mankind. I feel every entity, big entities or small entity, in whatever their capacity, should be connected to the government for the better support, and also they should be connected to care about the community and also the health and the education aspect of the community. Because if you take care of their health well and if you empower them with the education, then I think nothing is better than the wealth is given by means of education. So I think somebody can donate the money for that, or somebody can take the people to uplift them and develop their skill, and somebody can take part in supporting the families. The way the medical expenses are now going up, we should focus more into that. On top of that, there are a lot of other things. For example, I'll say that simple things can change the life. We have in Param Institute, I will say maybe many hundreds people who have come here. Those people were working in a very low paid job somewhere.
Okay.
And by means of providing short term to little longer term education along with their existing jobs, we could change their life so much that now their quality of the life is improved. On top of that, they are able to give more time to their families, so their social life is also improved. And while they are educated, they can bring more and more people whom they can support actually.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, journey is all ongoing. We have been trying our hard.
That's nice. Yeah, it's one step at a time. So obviously, it will definitely lead to greater heights. So Vipul, while building this whole empire, what were the challenges that you faced for each and every group of business that you started with?
Very nice question, Nimaji. In fact, I, did not answer it properly, but let me tell you that while you are building up something, you have to, the first challenge is to keep everybody on the same page. Like there are a lot of people whom you are dealing, where personalities are so different.
Yes.
And I think great people can do the great job. But while you are working with common people and you are thinking about uncommon vision, and that means you have to have very arduous, steep rise, and you have to think about out of box.
Mm-hmm.
The utmost thing which I realized in my life with Param is that one of the important aspect of any businesses, even not only businesses, I'm talking about any institutions,
Mm-hmm.
or even I'm talking about even any family or even any country, that the four pillar which I say is very critical in which is, I feel it is a building block of entire Param, and which came after my lot of interaction with the variety kind of people, whether it is a youngsters, or whether it is even kids,
Mm-hmm.
or whether it is a professionals, or whether it is a senior people. One of the fundamental thing everybody should do, which in my opinion is their speech. In our language, in my native language, it's a Vani. The speech has to be acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Mannerism is very critical. Whatever way you talk to the other people, you will be reciprocated. Second thing is the behavior,
Uh-huh.
which we say as a vartan. So when you behavior aspect, which is very important, whether it is my family, or whether it is my extended family, or whether it is my community. So decency is a part of your life, and you have to act accordingly. You can't behave which is not acceptable by the society standard.
Right.
So now we were talking about actually that the one which is a speech,
Mm-hmm.
which has to be acceptable by the normal standard and maybe much more. There is another angle we talk about is your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
The behavior has to be more dignified actually with anybody. And the third aspect, which I believe which is the most important, is your thoughts. What I strongly believe, that everyone has the positive and the negative both the side.
Mm-hmm.
But we should only see the positive side of any human being, and we should give room to correct for the negative side. So, today's world, the biggest problem, in fact, the biggest challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not talking about the challenges which is like the resource wise and the fund wise and connection wise, networking. These are all required. It's not that it is not required. And by all means, to be a successful entrepreneur, will need it. Definitely need it. Because without the fund and without the networking, without your connections, and you can't do.
Right.
But the right governance, which is critical for everything, whether it is your house, whether it is your organization, or whether it is your institutions, or whether it is your even country. So the third aspect, which most important, is your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And what we believe actually at Param, ever positive, never negative. So anybody has a negativity, we try to see that what are the good values into him or herself,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to maximize that positivity and try to minimize the negativity.
Right.
In other way, when we have our own meetings and we talk about this point, we talk alternatively that maximize your progresses. and minimize or mitigate your problems. Life has to be balanced. So this is what, according to me, is one of the aspects of the challenge in day-to-day life, especially in our organization too. And the fourth aspect, which I believe is your respect. In our language, community language, or in our native language, we say as a Vivek. So we talk about Vani, Vartan, Vichar and Vivek. So the Vivek means respect. You have to respect every human being, whether it is a small kid or whether it is a senior. So when you start respecting, and the first thing happens with the name. How do you pronounce that name actually? So that is where we feel that respect should be from the inside, and we should make sure that that respect goes not only for the person who are favorite to you or who are performing the best, but we should also see the same level of respect happens from top to bottom. So that's where I feel that these are the challenges, in my opinion. Any organization in today's fast world, people don't have patience actually, but the endurance makes the life difference.
Yeah.
And on top of that, what I feel that 4 pillars we talk about the Param. There are 2 major beams where entire building can be situated and which can sustain any winds actually, or any earthquakes, which is basically, it's called the harmony. It's called Suhra Dabav. So harmony means try to be on the same page by all means. It's as if you are, you are talking or you are behaving or you are acting with your own family, your loved one. Similarly, you have to love everyone. Love rules the world. And the second thing which I believe, which is above everything, is the discipline. Discipline in all aspects. Because while you are dealing with the system, there are processes to be followed. One side there is a people skill, other side there are processes. So how do you manage the people versus the process? By means of managing the people, you still have to manage the great processes. You have to work with the regulations. You have to honor the law of lands. On top, you have to develop a system where everybody feel there is a professional touch to it. We talk about think globally, we do act locally. But one side there is a professional aspect of the life, there is a personal life. While you are in business, that does not mean you are forgetting your personal life. But while there is a personal life, we are not forgetting the professional life because it's all interconnected. So make the environment friendly where people are distressed, they are free, and they are easy to exhibit themselves, easy to exhibit their opinions, easy to meet the bosses and convey their plus and minuses, because every small element in the organization is equally important as the company CEO and the president. If those connectivity is established by the means of beautiful networks, if the hurdles are taken out, then I think things will be very, very easy. What I feel is like when you have a large organization, it is very hard for top brass to reach to the bottom. But some wise person in my life whom I feel is my mentor, he told me and he suggested me that whatever is your organization, whether it is 2 people or whether it is 2,000 people, take a time out for each and everybody. Not every day, but sometime, in reasonable some time. And go and meet each and everyone. personally, which I feel many successful organizations, like for example, I have been so impressed with Google culture here.
Uh-huh.
Another culture which I am very impressed with our Tata, Indian big entrepreneur. That guy is so humble at the age of,
Yes.
might be at 76, probably 78. At that age also, he take time out to meet his so many low paid employees there sometimes. So I think the touch is very important. Connect is very important. Whether you providing the services to your clients,
Mm-hmm.
or whether you are providing services to your own people. See,
Right.
there is a way to handle, and if you are not communicating, even your personal life will be jeopardized.
Right.
So in Param, I feel the connect is a big aspect. We are so free in the environment. Everybody is accessible and everybody is reachable, and everybody can express their opinions and their concerns and their happiness and their grief and their sorrow. And I will say, personally, we have been engaged in many people's family decisions.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty is the management takes the time for the people's personal problem. They are free during their time when they need it, because you can't separate kids, you can't separate their marriage life, their life altogether. So we have to balance out. The one side we talk about the business development, other side we have to also value their personal time and personal values. So that's the perfect combination. And I would say, Nimaji, that people are so happy to come to the office and they want to work here because they feel this is a distress mechanism in the place where love rules the world.
That's nice to know. That's nice to know. So it's a good work-life balance that you're offering your employees.
Absolutely.
They really feel welcomed when they come here every day to work. That's amazing. So diverting a little bit from the challenges, that's amazing that you have a concept like, or the challenges that you have faced, you have a way of overcoming it, and successfully you have been doing it. I'm just going to divert our conversation a little bit again to the businesses that you have. You did talk about the IT consulting, the healthcare, and now Param is into adult daycare centers as well. It has adult daycare centers in 2 locations, one in Clifton, the other is in Morris Plain. Can you please tell us more about what the concept was and how you thought about it, and where do we stand today for daycare centers?
Very beautiful question. In fact, this is the most touchy questions you've ever asked. What happened that, in my personal life, my mother was one of the inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2015, when I lost my mother, I was little bit vacuumed actually. And I thought of that, I have lost my most loving person in my world. But then again, when you stop, that's why the good friends, good mentors are very important, who inspire and who motivate you and keep motivating. So by, the same situation happened, and then I went to my guru, my master, and he said me one thing, that caring is nothing but the divinity.
Mm-hmm.
So serving towards the humanity is a serving towards the divinity. So I said to my guru that, Guruji, I lost my mother and I feel vacuum in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly he reminded me that, this is Vasudevam Kutumbam. You have your own mother, but do not forget that there are so many mothers in the entire world. And this earth itself is a mother, according to our heritage and our culture. So why not you expand your love towards your mother and take care of many more mothers and many more parents. So then it suddenly, trigger something in my mind. And I asked Guruji, what can I do? And then he replied and he said, this is the turning point in my life. He said that, do one thing. Government is giving you the support. With that support, create an ecosystem where many parents can, take part, and they get the real love and happiness there.
Beautiful.
But the one thing he told me, that you have to do their serving as if they are your own parents. So I think that's a life-changing event in my life, and I am very thankful to my own parents and my mother, who has been heavenly inspiring me till date, and also my guru, who has mentored me and suggested me the right way. But let me tell you the change in what I am noticing at this time. When we put up these daycare centers, what we realized, as such, we were in the home caring and other services.
Right.
But now this is a direct interaction with the seniors who are coming to the daycare centers. When we are dealing with those parents, there are lack of lot of health part actually. Not only physical part, their social health, their emotional health well disturbed, their mental health. And then we have to create a system where we started putting, the importance of their physical health, their mental health, their emotional health, their recreational health, their educational health. You see today, which I am noticing, in last 5-6 years of the time, every day when they are coming into our center, they feeling energized, and they want us that instead of keeping 5 days open, why can't you do 7 days open?
That's nice.
In fact, I would be very happy to share, when you engage somebody emotionally, mentally, and with give the utmost physical care and keep them engaged, and if their mind is happy state of mind, then their life expectancy increases, the problems reduces. We have seen some good numbers actually. Even though they are aging, the numbers are improved.
That's really
so
nice.
I'm very encouraged actually by doing this serving. Originally, I'm a technology person. So what I realized, there is a lot of power to care about these seniors. So now we want to, along with the great level of the services, we would like to go forward and provide such a technological interface so that this service can reach to the everywhere. And that is whole standard which we are setting up. I cannot tell you the next plans that what we are putting, but I can tell you that COVID has given us so much lessons.
Yes.
And we have been passed through such a horrific time. So how do we use the best technology? How do we manage the life differently? Everyone has to rethink about their priority in the life, and that is exactly, I think, we are connecting all the components of the humanity. Whatever the great inventions happen in the time, we want to utilize those. At the same time, the fundamental of the human life is their health and education. We want to see that how do we improve so the quality of the life can be improved, and overall nation can build more stronger.
Beautiful. That's such a nice thought. And we also look forward for the technological advancement that you would be bringing to this whole system that you are trying to set up. That's really nice.
In fact, I would say that this system we have seen in United States, and so thankful to the government actually for such a nice thought they have actually. When seniors are coming, they are so happy actually,
Very
and their
nice.
blessing actually not only come to us, it is indirectly also going to the government of United States,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
we thank you for that.
That's amazing. That's really nice. Continuing on the same lines, I read about you starting a wellness center as well. Param Wellness has its location at Oak Tree, and there are 2 upcoming locations coming up. So, how would you like to tell us more about Param Wellness? What was the thought behind starting that? What stage are we, and what is the future for Param Wellness that you see?
Very beautiful question again. See, as the life progresses, when we start from 2001 being a technology firm to become gradually technology and healthcare firms,
Right.
and then it becomes so happen that education is also added.
Yes.
Now, what I feel you see the problems worldwide, the COVID problems, like Corona, as I told you that it everybody has to rethink about their life, their health, and their priorities actually. So what I feel fundamentally is that there are certain aspects of the every human life we should rethink. Number one thing is the lifestyle. Lifestyle has so much impact on everything actually. If we improve our lifestyle, then I strongly believe that overall world problems will go. Stress level will be reduced. Anxiety will be reduced. Anger will be reduced. Overall humanity's quality of the life will be improved.
Right.
Second thing is your food management. What you are is what you eat. That is we talk about that now. So much research has happened. Impact of sugar, impact of fat, impact of salt in the life. So if we want to control disease and we want to be very healthy and happy, then I think another aspect of the managing the life is manage your food. The most important aspect according to us is in current time is you're managing the stress levels. You see, now from the childhood to until become you are a senior, you have been passing through a lot of stress at home, stress at work, stress at school, and whatnot. For the small things, everybody is so stressed. So basically it's so happen the reason we are all stressed and we are going away from our now natural life is just because we are disconnected from our origin actually. If you think about the origin, then world is so beautiful, universe is so beautiful, sky is so beautiful, stars are so beautiful, you see the world surrounding greenery is so beautiful, mountains are so beautiful, rivers are so beautiful, and everybody is stress free. Why can't we be a part of the universe? So that is where this wellness concept came.
Okay.
And wellness is well being, and wellness is well be inside actually. So you think your wellness in a totality. It's an holistic concept.
Okay.
The concept about your mind, body, and soul. One cannot be mind cannot be well if the body is not well, and if mind and body is not well, soul cannot be well. So you have to rethink about how do we connect mind, body, and soul.
Beautiful.
That is where this wellness concept came. Then what we decided, let's study what are the wellness aspect and what are the alternating means available other than the modern medical science. Modern medical science definitely address a lot of physical problems and disease conditions, but some of the aspect like managing your stress and managing your lifestyle you have to rethink that, how do we handle. It's not like a pill that you take it and you become relaxed.
Yes.
It's a mental thing, it's an emotional things, right?
Process,
So
yeah.
that is why we studied a lot of wellness alternative in the world.
Uh-huh.
For example, India offers the great Ayurveda, and you also know that yoga is so much popular all over the world.
Yes.
So many people deep into yoga and meditation, and they become relaxed. Ayurveda is tremendously powerful. I would say that, I encourage people to know about Ayurveda, because Ayurveda is not a medical science in my opinion, it is a life science. And if you study the Ayurveda, you will know that what are the, way of living actually. What to eat and what not to eat. Where to start and where not to go.
Right.
And it's an overall completely, you will be immersed in the life actually. So it's like, it's as a big meaning. It's like very holy meaning. Then we also studied, other systems like acupuncture, Chinese system, Reiki, and then Japanese system. And then, some other alternate means like chiropractic.
Okay.
And then physically, you can do your hypnotherapy. So there are a lot of other means. Then you do like massage therapy. There are so many natural way of taking care of the body, mind, and soul. So those are the things which we wanted to combine at one place. And that is the reason we started this Param Wellness in 2015. And it's also the, signal from the God that we do, because during the COVID time, we saw that, how much stress all about. We have done tremendously great doing yoga and doing all sort of wellness education seminars, and we try to, support so many families all over the world.
Nice.
So I believe it's an endless mission. But the key is the, education actually. So many people don't know about this line, how do you handle the wellness. So our job is to circulate as much possible these novel thoughts of wellness, and that is the reason we have been circulating our newsletters, our publications. We have been keeping all the webinars on the weekly basis. People can join that. For example, some of the webinars we are addressing the chronic conditions like diabetes, hypertension.
That's good to know.
How to manage, arthritis and other chronic situations, depression, memory loss. All those can be reversed actually. And you need to follow the regime. That's our whole point. And again, this is not one team or one company or one organization serving. And it's not even the business, this is a non-profit cause. Everyone should connect and try to improve the lifestyle actually.
Right.
Then overall burden on government will be less if the healthier community. And that is where actually government is spending so much money on diabetes prevention and arthritis prevention, fall prevention. You see that, like a lot of people are suffering, and government is so much spending on that. So that's why I feel everyone should take the responsibility of their well-being. Another aspect is the key data actually. And why I believe, because United States, everything goes with the data. You see that big pharmaceutical companies, they are making the vaccines and they are making all medicine, but they have been doing extensive studies.
Right.
So I believe like these are herbal things, they are the food things. And some of the dietary supplements and something which are like external to the body, oil massaging or any other massages, whatever you do. So these are the things which is tried and tested for years and years, but still we feel that there is a scope of lot of research. And with that intention in mind, we have started an organization called, Dr. B.V. Thakur Research Center, which is on my father's name actually. And I respect because he was a scientist, he was a physicist, and the great physicist who inspired and motivated me a lot for being a technological great, and he gave me all the values of the life. So I wanted to dedicate that research organization in memory of my late father. So that's the reason we created this research institute in collaboration with the University of South Florida. And we have been doing some research for the herbal management, and we are also trying to bring some of the herbal and dietary supplements which can be very effective. So these are the modalities. In fact, it's not about that it is a one particular business area. The wellness of entire humanity can be improved by only means of adopting the better lifestyle. And where exactly you will find the knowledge about that direction and the guidance about that through by means of going through journey into wellness. And that's why we are also coming up with a lot of wellness programs from the expert worldwide. We are bringing Ayurveda programs, yoga programs, many other wellness programs, and best of the best people in the universe will like to share their knowledge. And I request all of your people, your audience, to take part into that and enjoy the happiness and the well-being.
Nice, very beautiful, and all these things will be published on Param Wellness website, I believe.
Exactly right.
So they can keep checking, and then for the new updates and the new upcoming webinars and all the lectures that you are trying to arrange for wellness.
See, our goal is to network more and more people into that, and that is why what we are connecting. What we are doing is we are first of all educating and empowering the people who have passion about this. It's not that anybody can do. This is not a business. Again, I'm telling that any institutions can, need a money power. They need other resources.
Right.
That will be definitely needed. But if the real passion is there to support the people and the community, and they want to go like that, the Param is there to support for their education, their empowerment. And by means of we are also expanding the reach to the people. They want to create some location, we can support them.
Right.
But overall, it is a entire global. We want to spread it. And we want to connect all the wellness experts in the world on the same platform, so that more and more people can take the advantage of this.
It's a very beautiful project that you have undertaken, and I wish you all the success for future endeavors that you would be having for this.
See, one thing, Nimaji, thank you very much first of all for all your great questions and the opportunity to talk to the people here. But we never take this as a business first of all. So we are never bored about what we are doing. Sometimes people say that day-to-day life, whatever you've been doing for many years you are doing, then people get bored. But it's not like that. Every day we feel something that we are energized, we are further energized. We want to do something more. We want to do something more.
That you have.
And I will tell you that, if besides the monetary goal, if you have goals towards the serving the community and goals towards the supporting and having the Vasudevam Kutumbam, kind of feelings, then probably you will never tired. I'm telling you. You will never see that what time of the day or what time of the night even sometimes.
Right.
Whenever this is the passion one has to create. And I tell you one thing, the way the technology is going, we belong to the great technology. But I can tell you that, when the VR things are coming up, when the meta world is coming up in very near future, maybe another few years we have a different way of communications, different modality of transportations. People will be still more. Right now we see our kids are getting into a lot of video games and a lot of virtual things happening in surrounding, in the social media. Everything is a plus and minuses. But the one thing one should be very wary about is, being an isolated, and it will be the loneliness which will be in the future will be a question. Even people are family, but still family members have limited time for their family people, which we are seeing at this time. But in future this will be beyond the control, and that time I believe, very strongly believe, people have to rethink the where we belongs. We have to reconnect to our origin. We have to reconnect to our heritage, and we have to reconnect to our values. So wherever we are, whatever we are, even you are an engineer, you are a doctor, you are a lawyer, or you are a businessman, or you are XYZ, anything, you are an educator.
Right.
We have to find a way to connect to the community and create the passion, because when there is a loneliness, this passion will help you, this hobby will help you. And how do we create the hobby? And then make a team, actually, likely minded people, so that you are always surrounded, you are secure, actually.
Yes.
And this is what my message to the people, that do whatever you want to do, enjoy your beautiful life at this time, and achieve as much as possible. But some point of the time we have to rethink about our origin. So why not right now we think, rather than waiting for the later time? So this is the time of connect. It's a community connect. If you are a youth, then connect to good youth in surrounding. If you are a senior, then connect to the other seniors too in surrounding, and enjoy the community connect. This is where exactly, and use the best technology in the surrounding, and use the best services available to you. That is what my message to everybody.
That's beautiful. That's very nice. Last but not the least, what are the goals that you have set for Param Group as such?
Well, I think very difficult question to answer, but I tell you one thing. If I have to talk in a Sanskrit, I can tell you one sentence for that. It's a Seva Parama Dharma, Yogi Nam Ati Agamya. This is a mission of serving. This is a mission of divinity. Yes, it is a organization, and we have been successfully doing the businesses also.
Right.
But at some point of time, as we rethink in our life, that how do we connect the community in our capacity. But my goal is that empowerment should continue. So that empowerment should continue only when you empower somebody else. Then somebody empowers somebody else.
Yes.
Right? My father used to be a professor. He was a physicist, and he was a scientist. He wanted to give a research to the mankind, so that that research can be useful to improve the quality of the life. He wanted to educate the world because he was a professor, and he wanted to improve many people's life. And he did, actually. Very nobly did, actually. And that's the way he has been recognized, even though he is no more, but he is still with us. And we feel many of his students and many of his great research work always talk about him. That is where he has been always with me and always with us. So my personal goal, see, I am not a professor, first of all, right? Or I am not even scientist. I am an engineer, but I am an entrepreneur. And in my capacity, we can create the research institutions, which we did. We can create the educational institution, which we did. These are the basically vehicles. These are the platforms which we need to set up to reach out to as many people in the world.
Right.
So my personal goal, if you ask me my personal goal, I want to reach out to at least 1 million people in this universe who are needy people, whom we can upgrade, whom we can empower, and who can bring the change in their life by means of our technology, by means of our services, or by means of our education. And that is whole mission Param. Param means, again, it is a journey towards the greatness. Param word itself is the greatness. And generally Param word used in front of the God. So when you say Mr. XYG, let's say Mr. Vipul Amin, so Mr. is a title to Vipul Amin, but similarly God's title is Param, so it's so respectful, and that is whole journey. The name itself is saying that reach towards the divinity.
That's
And
very
lastly I would say that the most important person in life who have actually inspired me, other than my parents and my guru, is Albert Einstein. He always talk about matter to mind, matter to mind, and mind to divinity. So there are three lives in us. First is the matter, which is a physical world. Then we have a mind, which is a psychological world, and divinity, which is a religious world. So we have to find the connect there. And that connect, actually, you will be surprised and you will be very happy. I found that connect is the connecting the humanity. And if you connect through the humanity, you are automatically connected to the divinity. That is the goal. And this is where we want to go for.
Yeah, that's a complete circle by itself.
So Vipul, when you first thought of venturing into entrepreneurship, I am sure your family must have also, like, you must have gone back and forth with your family about this idea and how to develop this idea. So for every successful man, there is successful family behind.
Absolutely.
So what would you like to say? Like, how did your family support in this matter? And how
Nimaji, in fact, this is a very exciting question for me, because as you told that every successful man has a family behind. So I think the entire credit really goes to my family. I came from such a different background where business was not a primary things. My father was a very good educationalist, and what I saw and I learned from him, that he has been instrumental to many people to guide in the right path. And in fact, by means of his great counseling, great caring and knowledge, he helped so many people. And I have seen that those great people careers are also developed, and they are part of very good in society, and they are supporting so many people. My mother was a simple house woman, and what I got it from her, like her love and caring, actually keep motivated me, inspired me, and best part of that is a practical wisdom. You will be surprised, but sometimes her practical wisdom has literally protected me from all kind of risk which is coming, not only to me but even to like anything related to business also. Sometimes I used to discuss with her. And like big MBAs cannot solve such problems, but my great mother used to give me practical wisdom, small wisdom, and it could help me a lot. So for my wife, I cannot say the word thank you is enough. First of all, she is one who is a pioneer, supported me. In fact, when we married, she is one who gave me the dream of coming to the business, first of all. And time, when you are in the early age of your career. But the means of doing the business is not just for the doing the business, but it is in the support of the community and the society. That means actually came from my wife. I'll say that she has one side, she has a very great charitable mind in her nature. On top of that, the discipline that she carries, and the knowledge she carries, and the understanding she carries, that helps me a lot. In fact, it was not easy for raising two kids and managing the larger family. On top of that, supporting so much to the businesses. Until date, she is an outstanding supporter, and I am so proud of that. So key is Nimaji, union in family actually. Whatever you want to achieve, if your home front you are having peace and harmony, I think things automatically reflect on your education and in your success, whatever way you want to.
Right.
So I would say that I am so grateful to God that I have been to such a great family. My kids are also very supportive. In fact, they never demanded that Dad, please take us to some big vacations. And I feel in my journey their contribution is also immense. And on top of that, my exterior family, my siblings and my other half of the people, these are all supportive. They have understood me that when there is a mission going, they have also sacrificed certain expectations in their life. So I mean, you can say that in totality the sound family make you sound person, and if you are a sound person, your progress will be sound. So this is all credit goes to my family. So thank you, my own family and my exterior family.
Nice. Thank you, Vipul, for your time today. It was great knowing Param Group, what they are into, and what businesses they have, and how they have progressed all throughout these years. That was a wonderful insight. And we wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and looking forward to see Param progressing and reaching new heights.
Thank you. Actually, I'm so thoughtful today because this is probably first time. I mean, I could express from the inside, and you have provided this opportunity to me. So I thank you, Vimaji, and I thank you all of my people who try to arrange this for me. Thank you so much.
Yes, the media team has really worked hard on this, and we will see the results.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.